I never believed in ghosts until the house started asking for its bones. My name is Lila Chen, and 3 months ago, I moved into 47 Willowcrest Lane, a sprawling Victorian fixer-upper on the edge of town. Cheap because the realtor mumbled something about historical zoning quirks. The place smelled like wet earth even on dry days, and the floorboards sighed when no one walked on them. I told myself it was charm. I was wrong. The first night, I woke to a soft scraping beneath my bedroom. Not mice, too deliberate, like fingernails dragging across wood. I pressed my ear to the floor and heard it clearer. Tap, tap, scrape. A rhythm, almost polite. I laughed it off. Old pipes, I said. But the next morning, the scraping had left marks. 3 parallel grooves in the oak, fresh as if carved with a child's hand. I'm a night shift nurse at St. Agnes Hospital, so I'm used to odd hours and odder silences. That week, the house began speaking in absences. My coffee mug would be on the counter when I knew I'd left it in the sink. The basement door, padlocked since move-in, stood ajar one dawn, exhaling cold that smelled of turned soil and iron. I found a single child's shoe inside, patent leather, caked in dried mud, size 3. No child had lived here in decades. I called my brother Marcus, the family historian. He dug through county records and texted me a grainy 1920s map. Willowcrest Cemetery, estimated. 1873, relocated 1952. The plot? Exactly where my house now sat. The city had reclaimed the land after a flood washed half the headstones into the river. Bodies, though, those were presumed relocated. Presumed that night, the knocking started. Not on doors, under them, from inside the walls. A child's voice, muffled. "You're on my bed." I slept with the lights on. The knocking followed me, room to room, always one wall behind, like tag. Day 5, I came home to find every mirror in the house turned to face the walls. My reflection stared back from the glass backs, pale, eyeless, mouthing words I couldn't hear. I smashed one. The shards bled black soil. Not metaphorically. Actual dirt, thick with worms. I tried to leave, packed a bag, called an Uber. The driver arrived, took one look at the house, and peeled away without a word. His dashcam later showed my porch empty, except for a dozen small handprints blooming across the windows like frost. Marcus came over with a priest, a medium, and a bottle of Jameson. The priest blessed the thresholds. The medium went rigid, whispered, "They're not angry, they're homesick." Then she bolted, leaving her crucifix melted into the welcome mat. We found the first body at 2:17 a.m. I'd been hearing digging, wet, rhythmic shoveling from the crawl space. Marcus pried open the hatch. The beam of his flashlight caught a tiny skeleton curled in the dirt, still wearing the rotted remnants of a christening gown. Its skull turned toward us, the jaw unhinged, and a sound came out. Not a scream, but a sigh of relief, like it had waited a century to be seen. Then the house shifted. Floorboards rippled like water. Walls exhaled dust that formed faces, dozens of them pressing outward, mouths open in silent plea. The temperature plummeted. My breath crystallized into tiny gravestones on the air. Marcus grabbed my arm. "Lila, the foundation. It's sinking." He was right. The entire house was descending, inch by inch, into the earth, not collapsing, returning. The basement stairs lengthened before our eyes, wood groaning into fresh pine, nails popping out like teeth. From below came the sound of a congregation, children laughing, a woman humming a lullaby, a man coughing blood. We ran upstairs. The front door wouldn't budge. Roots had burst through the frame, thick as thighs, pulsing. Through the window, I saw the yard. The lawn had become a perfect grid of fresh graves, headstones pushing up like mushrooms after rain. Each bore a name I recognized from the old cemetery map. The newest stone read, "Lila Chen, beloved sister, died tonight." Marcus tried the back door. Same, we were sealed in with them. That's when the children came. Not ghosts, presences, cold spots that shaped themselves into small bodies. They didn't walk, they glided, leaving wet footprints of mud. One, a girl with braids made of roots, tugged my sleeve. Her touch burned like ice. She pointed to the kitchen floor, where the tiles had peeled back to reveal a coffin lid. My coffin lid, empty. Marcus found the developer's permit taped inside the pantry. Graveyard soil used as fill. Cost-saving measure. They hadn't just built on the cemetery. They'd ground up the dead to pour the foundation. Every scream I'd heard was a bone remembering its shape. The house wanted balance. One body for every body disturbed. Marcus volunteered. I'll never forgive him or myself. He kissed my forehead, whispered, "Tell Mom I fixed something," and walked into the basement. The stairs swallowed him. The digging stopped. The temperature rose. The children faded, smiling. I'm alone now. The house is quiet. The walls breathe slower, content. Sometimes late at night, I hear Marcus humming from below, off-key, like when we were kids. The floorboards no longer creak, they purr. I listed the house for sale. The realtor's photos show a charming Victorian. Move-in, ready. The listing says, recently settled foundation. Buyers love that. Last week, a young couple toured. The wife is pregnant. They stood in the kitchen right over Marcus, and she said, it feels like home. I smiled. It will be. Tonight, the scraping starts again. Tap, tap, scrape. A new rhythm, smaller feet. The house is hungry for its next family. Subscribe for more chilling tales.